out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I...
Sandy into his windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed a perfect save.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. Mookie Kershaw pitches a no-hitter. It is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner. It's over. Muncy, a walk-off home run. This is way back. Walk 'em off. Chris Taylor.
Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back that...
It's time for Dodger baseball.
First Dodger home run.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
Dodgers win.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball.
Grand slam.
It's a double for Freddie.
They're going to make big signings. They're going to make impact trades. This is the most anticipated season in Dodgers history.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I...
Sandy into his windup. Here's the pitch. Missed a perfect save.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. Mookie Kershaw pitches a no-hitter. It is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner. It's over. Muncy, a walk-off home run. This is way back. Walk 'em off. Chris Taylor.
Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back that...
It's time for Dodger baseball.
First Dodger home run.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
Dodgers win.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball.
Grand slam.
It's a double for Freddie.
They're going to make big signings. They're going to make impact trades. This is the most anticipated season in Dodgers history.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to the Dodgers Nation Postgame Show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thanks for rocking with us. After the Dodgers get the dub, they beat the Brewers. The Blue Crew beats the Brew Crew by a final score of 5-2. They improved to 70-49, and right now your Los Angeles Dodgers have the best record in the National League. So despite losing Mookie Betts for 2 months, despite being decimated by injuries to the pitching staff, and you lose Yoshinobu Yamamoto, you lose Max Muncy for extended period of time, this Dodgers team has the best record in the National League, and they're really in a good position with Mookie Betts back. You got Shohei back on track tonight, hitting a home run. Mookie, a great start. Can you consider the fact that Mookie did not have a rehab anything? Didn't go out on a rehab assignment. Didn't go to AAA. He found his timing in game one. He said, you know what? I'll give me some sim game at-bats and I'll be just fine, despite missing 2 months after suffering a fractured left hand that he suffered on June 16th against the Royals. But lots to be excited about on this one. Dodgers, 70th win of the season. Ohtani back on track. Clayton Kershaw, he was outstanding tonight. Gets his first win of the season. He goes 5 2/3, gives up 1 run on 3 hits, had 6 strikeouts through 83 pitches, 56 for strikes. The ERA on the year sits at 3.5. You take out that second start, though. You take out that second start against the San Diego Padres, and his numbers are looking really, really solid. And just imagine if you get that version of Clayton Kershaw as your number 4 starter. he's been outstanding. He really has. I mean, you take the first start, really good. Second start, didn't have it. Last two, definitely trending in the right direction. Tonight, by far, was his best start. You had the increased command of the edges. You had the arm side fastball command. You saw him working the splitter, the changeup to go along with the Cooperstown curveball and the slider, the fastball. I thought he was tremendous tonight. We'll talk about Joe Kelly. I have some thoughts on that. We'll also talk more about Amed Rosario, who was DFA'd today after Mookie Betts was brought back on the active roster. That was the corresponding move, is DFAing Amed Rosario. So we're going to talk about tonight's game. I want all of your fire takes tonight. I want all of your reaction. Let me know who you have as your player of the game. What are your thoughts on Mookie being back? I thought it was just great to see Mookie back in right field. Not only was he back in right field, and I thought that definitely is where he needed to be, and it felt like he didn't have anything to worry about. I mean, it's not a surprise to me that he goes out today and has a really good start in his return, ends up going 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, drove in 3 runs. Shohei and Mookie, they drive in all 5 of the Dodgers' runs tonight. It's no surprise to me that happens in his first game back because he's not having to worry about playing shortstop or even second base for that matter. He goes back to a position where he's extremely comfortable, where he's a 6-time Gold Glove Award winner. Is he still a Gold Glove caliber outfielder? That remains to be seen. We'll see if he still has that in him, but the truth is he knows how to play that position extremely well. But welcome to the Dodgers Nation post-game show, the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel. Here, be sure to comment, go Ohtani down below, getting close to 95,000 subscribers, and when we do, we are giving away a brand new Shohei Ohtani gray authentic jersey. Got a super chat from Lorenzo Gaddis 999. Appreciate you, D-Mac. I love how you've been controlling the run game this season. You're second in the league at throwing out runners. Was that something you worked on this offseason? Yeah, I mean, it definitely was a point of emphasis for me to improve any way I could as a catcher. The pop time's better, throwing out guys, and absolutely it was something that I focused on. So for sure, there's no doubt about that. And of course, tonight that factored in a major way with Clayton Kershaw on the mound and Will Smith throwing out Hoskins. I mean, when he threw out Contreras in the 3rd inning after the strike him out, throw him out there, where Kershaw struck out Hoskins on a 4-seam fastball up in the zone, velocity up in the zone. He's able to control it, able to command it. Great pitch mix there. And then you throw out Contreras there with a nice throw, quick pop time, quick reaction, and a great tag there by Kike Hernandez. So yeah, we're going to break this whole game down. Do want to start with Amed Rosario, though. We're going to get to the game, but does tonight change how you feel about Amed Rosario? Because a lot of people in the Dodgers land, we got BC in the mix, Nero, Daniel Clark, Ohtani, Jose Moreo. The fact that Shohei and Mookie homered today gives me goosebumps. That's a fire take. That's a fire. Tonight it was Kobe and Shaq. Kobe and Shaq were reunited tonight. It was great to see that, and I absolutely totally agree. The fact that they both had success their first time back in the lineup for months definitely is something to be extremely encouraged by. So totally agree with you on that. And you look at Amed Rosario, though. That was the move. Victor Baños says vintage Kershaw. So the move on Monday, today, was Mookie Betts. After missing 45 games with a broken left hand, he was reinstated. He was put back on that 26-man active roster, and most people, including myself, assumed that the move was going to be to DFA Nick Ahmed. Did they do the wrong Ahmed? Was it Nick Ahmed or Amed Rosario? Did they make a mistake? No, they didn't. That was the intention. And Dave Roberts said to reporters in Milwaukee, it was a difficult conversation. It was a short stint. Where we were at that point in time, weren't good baseball guys, banged up, not sure when guys were going to return to play. So for us to get him here was huge and kind of raised the floor and helped us win some ball games. So key takeaway from Doc's comments there are you had good baseball guys banged up. And he's clearly referring to Max Muncy. And from what I've heard is, of course, ever since the Magic chiropractor found a way to magically get Max Muncy's oblique to being healthy, He's felt good. He's looked good. He's going to be back in the Dodgers' next homestand when they return to face the Mariners early next week, along with Tommy Edman. Well, that changed everything. That changed the course of the roster makeup. And Rosario, he was going to play a couple roles if everything did not go the Dodgers' way. And that is, you platoon him with Gavin Lux at second base, and he's in the lineup against left-handed pitching, or he's also an emergency player at third base. He's someone that you could fit in at third base if Max Muncy did not return. And what happened in addition to Max Muncy finding a way to accelerate his comeback and righting himself and getting healthy, in addition to that was Kike Hernandez absolutely changing the outlook of his entire season because he fixed his vision and going to see the optometrist. And we talked about it on the Dodgers dugout today. I mean, those glasses have changed everything. Kike Hernandez before the glasses was 41% below league average offensively. After the glasses, he's 20% above league average. So he's literally already doubled his offensive production by throwing on those glasses. So Kike can play that role once he goes to a more platoon role when Max Muncy comes back. Because when Max Muncy comes back, Kike will be a player that you plug in different spots when you need him to. And he can play that role where you platoon him at second base with Gavin Lux if you want to go that route and give him some starts against left-handed pitching. So because Kike turned his season around, because Max Muncy got healthy, that is why Amed Rosario got DFA'd today. And Nick Ahmed, he'll ultimately get DFA'd when Tommy Edman and Max Muncy return. That's going to be the case. But Dave said, you're cutting ties with a really good ball player that's versatile, but just the guys we have coming back, it shows the talent in the room now and coming. I really like Ahmed a lot. It's a tough decision. It really is. With our lineup construction, I just didn't see a lot of runway for him when we have guys coming back. There's going to be no left-handed starters this week against the Brewers and Cardinals, so we're kind of in bed with the guys that we have, just giving him an opportunity to go somewhere, find somewhere, and find some opportunities. So give credit to the Dodgers for doing right by Amed Rosario. Rosario did not look very thrilled in that Dodgers dugout anytime you saw any clips of him. Anytime you saw him in there, I mean, yesterday he helped score a run, right? I mean, Amed Rosario clearly was having his best offensive season of his career against right-handed and left-handed pitchers. And for him to not be a part of this roster, when you look at it right now, he wasn't going to get the playing time, wasn't going to get the opportunities. He ends up going 3 for 11 with 2 RBI, did have 1 extra base hit, had a double, hit 273. On the year, hitting 307. So, yeah, he can absolutely go somewhere and help a team, but it's not going to be the Dodgers. But let's get into your comments, guys. What are your thoughts on Amed Rosario? Any additional thoughts now that you processed it? Do you feel a little better about it? Now we've kind of explained it more. Do you feel a little better about it? But here we go. We got, of course, it changes nothing. That's from BC. BC, idiotic to get rid of a 300 hitter as if they grow on trees in today's MLB. So what you're saying is true, that with offense down across the league, it's rare to have a 300 hitter in your lineup. Having said that, though, for better or worse, the Dodgers are committed to the guys they currently have in spots. And guys have gotten healthy, guys have produced. Even you can point to Gavin Lux as well. I mean, Gavin Lux has consistently produced since Uncle Augie worked his magic in Milwaukee. And they worked on the lower body and found a connection to the ground and got him synced up, and his swing looked a lot better. So it's tough. It's a tough decision by the front office. But, hey, what I always say, what must be done immediately, what must be done eventually, should be done immediately. And that's essentially what they did tonight. They basically said, you know what, we're going to cut this guy loose. He's not getting an opportunity to play with us, so might as well. Because now you got those corner outfield spots locked. Mookie in right, and you got Teo in left, and then you have Kiermaier, who got another hit tonight, in center. And then Tommy Edman's going to come back and play center as well. So he just wasn't getting opportunities. So you got to hope that these guys stay healthy and that these guys continue to produce at the plate. But tonight was definitely a great sight. We got Zella Zoom. This may be Dave's last year if they don't make a deep playoff run. Daniel Macy, my brother, and I say hello from New Mexico. What's up, Daniel Macy? Let's go Dodgers. As always, let's go Dodgers. Definitely a big let's go Dodgers night here with Mookie Betts back, with Shohei Ohtani hitting a home run. Definitely a very, very welcome sight. We got finally Will Smith is heading right where he belongs. Absolutely. I mean, that's what really we've been preaching on this show, is that you can't put Will Smith in a situation where he's already playing one of the most difficult positions in all of professional sports, in a position where you're basically forcing him to come through at the plate every single time. Things with the pressure off, you're going to see more production, no doubt about it. Brendan Chang, what's up, D-Mac? What's up, Brendan Chang? What's up, BC? Kelly's allowed 8 of 14 base runners to score, almost 60%. Not a high leverage arm. Definitely a fire take. I'll give you some more thoughts when we break down Kelly's portion of tonight. But we got Rafael Fogo. Credit to the Dodgers for staying on top of the division while everyone was injured. It was difficult to watch, but it's fortunate that the Dodgers are back. Yeah, the Dodgers, they have always had the code, the formula to win in the regular season. So it doesn't come as a huge surprise. You look at last year's team, they weren't expected to win 100 games. They still managed to do so. So give this team a lot of credit for sure. Rosemary Rodriguez over on YouTube says Mookie looks great at the plate. LFG. Give you a comment of the show for that one. We got Daniel Clark. What's up, D-Mac? What's up, Dodgers Nation? What's up, Daniel Clark? Shohei, Freddie, Mookie from Kelly Oshiro. Another comment of the show, because it just feels great not only to get Freddie back last week, Mookie back this week, Shohei back on track, and then Clayton Kershaw on the mound. So 4 MVPs participated for your Los Angeles Dodgers tonight. That definitely is legendary. That definitely is historic stuff, for sure. Brian Diaz says, D-Mac, what's up, Brian Diaz over there? Mr. Classic, Gavin Lux, I never want you to have an over 4 game ever again. You hit too good to do that. Ron Jerica, Kirsch was really good tonight. R.I.P. Rosario from Alfonso Lucio. The fact that Shohei and Mookie homered today gives me goosebumps. No doubt about it. We got some more down below. Let Friedman cook. Yeah, this team has a plan. They know what they're doing. There's no doubt about that. And Joy says, injuries aside, those who doubt Ohtani should remember that he is not a player who will end up in a slump. He hit another home run in his last game in 2021, for sure. Esteban, we'd be nothing without D-Mac. Okay, I'll give you some love for that one. Give you the Dodger dog. Who's the Dodger dog of the game here? Revolver says Joe Kelly can be DFA'd as well. Too wild and unreliable. Joe Kelly off the postseason roster. Yeah, lots of some strong opinions towards Joe Kelly for sure. What's up, Alex? Roberts basically said he was always temporary from Rosemary Rodriguez. Exactly. I mean, that definitely is a great point, that when Dave initially was asked about Rosario, he said that he was going to be a platoon guy at second base, and he was primarily going to get opportunities against left-handed pitching. And when he was given the numbers about Rosario versus right-handed pitching, even though they were strong, he pretty much was dismissive towards those numbers. So you look at the decision, they kind of made their bed with these guys. They kind of have to sleep in it, right? I mean, there's really not that many roles that he could have played for this team. And yes, Nick Ahmed, he is by far the better defensive player, and he's active right now. He's Miguel Rojas' backup if anything were to happen to them, or he wants to give him a day off. But let's be honest here. His days are numbered. Edmonds back. Muncie's back. He's going to be gone. And then Kike, he also complicated it by playing well. It was Major League all over again, right? I mean, it was great. It was definitely awesome. One of the best stories of the season, the fact that literally Kike puts on glasses and he figures his whole season out. So it was pretty awesome to see. But let's dive into tonight's action. Got lots to talk about tonight, too. Lots of stuff happened this game we need to know about, and let's get you guys all caught up for sure. So tonight's game, the big story, Mookie's return. Kersh was brilliant. Shohei just gets back on track, hits a home run. Joe Kelly continues to lose the trust of Dodgers fans, of possibly Dave Roberts in those situations. Now, the stuff is looking really good, and that really is kind of the real concerning thing about it. Is the stuff's good, the results aren't. But let's start right at the beginning. Top of the first inning, Dodgers go down order. Betts in his first at-bat. 2-2 count. He strikes out on a slider up in the zone, kind of stumbles there. The timing was off. Totally understandable considering the fact this is his first game back after missing 45 games with a broken left hand. Bottom of the first inning, 1-2-3 for Kersh. Did a fantastic job playing to his defense, establishing that arm side fastball command early. They really set up the curveball and the slider and the changeup and the splitter that it was charted as a little later in the game. And you could tell he was sharp early on by the way he was hitting those corners. The mechanics were synced up. He was out there making pitches early on. When you see Kersh have early success, especially on the road, that's how you know that everything is synced up mechanically, mentally, and we saw the best performance of him in a long, long time tonight. And then jumping to the bottom of the second inning, Contreras, he gets a leadoff double. Kersh leaves a slider out over the plate. Then Adames, he grounds third for the first out. Kersh walks Sanchez on six pitches. That sets the Brewers up with runners on first and second. But really, this is the play of the game for Kersh's start because could have got that pitch count up early, could have led to a rocky start. He strikes out Hoskins with a four-seam fastball up in the zone. Then Will Smith, he throws out Contreras at third. A great throw, a great tag, strike him out, throw him out. They get no runs on one hit, so he works his way around a double to start off the inning. He also issued a one-out walk, so that was really the shaky inning, so definitely to get out of that was huge for Kirsten. Top of the third inning, Kike, he reached on an infield single to second. Kiermaier, I love the approach there, love the strategy. Hey, if he can't hit, let's get some production out of him. Kiermaier lays down the bunt. Kike gets to second, and then Shohei Ohtani on a 3-2 count. He grounds out, but that brings up Mookie Betts. Mookie gets himself into a hitter's count. Then on the 2-1 fastball inner half, Mookie living his Betts life. Mookie crushes a 2-run shot, his 11th of the season. First since June 6th against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Dodgers go up 2-0. They get 2 runs on 2 hits there in the top of the third inning. And then another 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the third for Clayton Kershaw. He strikes out Frelick with the slider, sharp slider on the inside corner. Fantastic location there. And then a couple batters later, he strikes out Terang with the four-seam fastball in the bottom of the zone. Then jump to bottom of the fourth inning. Another 1-2-3 for Kersh. Churio gets him to ground to second. He strikes out Mitchell swinging on 3 pitches. Just a brilliant Cooperstown Clayton Kershaw on the 0-2, gets Mitchell swinging for the second out. Then he gets Contreras to ground to second for the third out. So we saw efficient 1-2-3 innings from Kersh. We saw himself work his way around leadoff hits and one-out walks. He really looked like someone who had basically, now he's gone through a full spring training, right? Now really you can officially start his season after last start and this start. Feels like he's really getting into the swing of things at the perfect time. And I think right now he's easily slotted in there, him, Gavin Stone, as the Dodgers Game 4 starter. Those two kind of competing for that role as of right now. But I think when you look at how much Kersh appears to have in the tank, I think Kersh definitely is making a very, very strong case to get the ball for the Dodgers in Game 4. Hopefully they sweep, though. Hopefully they sweep the NLDS. Don't get to a Game 4. But top of the 5th inning, 1-0 count to Kevin Kiermaier. He singles to center, and that sets Shohei Ohtani up at the plate with Kiermaier at first. 3-0 count. Does he have the green light? You better believe it. Shohei crushes a bomb to left center, 424 feet. That puts the Dodgers up 4-0. And that was an extremely encouraging sight to see. Shohei Ohtani going the opposite direction, hitting an opposite field shot, using the big part of the field. His 36th home run of the season. And yes, it was my called shot. If you watch the morning show, not that hard to do, not that hard to predict a Shohei Ohtani home run, but still great to see him provide that pop. And he's due for a run. He's due. I mean, he has a 126 weighted runs created plus since the All-Star break. You're going to see him absolutely blow up and go on a run. I think it started tonight. I think we're going to see another Shohei Ohtani hot streak. And then bottom of the 5th inning, this is where it got interesting for Kershaw as well. He gives up a leadoff single to Willy Adames, and then Adames gets to second on a balk. If you go back and watch the play, it was not a balk at all whatsoever. It was a bad call. Kershaw looked annoyed by it. He was using his cleat to make a little 45-degree angle there to try to prove that it wasn't a balk, but it definitely was not a balk. The balk, look, it's where you step, right? And the umpire was calling the lean towards the plate. It wasn't a balk. It was a bad call. It was a missed call. And still didn't fluster him. He buckled down. He gets Sanchez to pop to short for the first out. Then next batter, Rhys Hoskins, he misses with a curveball down the zone. He issues the 1-out walk. And then Frelick, he flied to center for the second out. And then one of the big pitches for him all night, gets Ortiz on a curveball bottom of the zone. So really had the feel for that curveball tonight. Was using it early in counts to steal some strikes, but also using it as a big put-away pitch. And then the bottom of the 6th. The bottom of the 6th inning, Clayton Kershaw comes back out there into the 6th inning. Still a scoreless game. He's pitched. Still goes 5 shutout innings to that point. And then Terang, he lines to right for the first out. Gets Chourio to single to right. Now, this is probably going to go unnoticed, but to me, you could make this a case for this being the play of the game. The Chourio single goes right over Mookie's head. Mookie's not going to make a play on it, but he lets it bounce off the wall, plays it perfectly, and holds Chourio to a single. And for someone that hasn't played right field all season, someone who's missed 45 games, for Mookie to go out there, play that so perfectly, just makes you feel so much better about the outfield defense and the outfield production. And sure, Clayton Kershaw certainly appreciated that. And then next batter, he strikes out Mitchell with a slider, gets him looking at a slider for strike 3. Then Dave Roberts comes and takes the ball from Clayton Kershaw. His night was over after 5 2/3. And then first batter, Joe Kelly, 3-2 to Contreras. He gives up a home run, a 2-run shot. That cuts the Dodgers lead in half at 4-2. And a couple pitches earlier, it looked like it should have been it. It looked like that slider caught. It looked like that four-seam fastball on the previous pitch, on the 5th pitch of the at-bat, 99 miles per hour on the black. It did clip the zone. Should have been strike 3. But still, next pitch, you go back there with another fastball. This one leaks a little bit out over the plate, and you give up a 2-run home run. So Joe Kelly definitely hasn't looked good of late. The numbers don't look good for Joe Kelly on the year. The expected numbers don't help his case either. But, man, if you could change the attack plan a little bit, if you could change the sequencing a little bit, you're probably going to have some success, because he maxed out tonight at 99.9 miles per hour. He averaged 98.3 tonight. The velo on the sinker tonight was at 1 mile per hour. So I know this is probably going to be unpopular, but you still have to stick with Joe Kelly, because, look, is he going to make this postseason roster? That could be a fair question in a couple of weeks. But the stuff is still good. You just have to command a little better and sequence it a little better. But you can't give up on Joe Kelly. Trust me, he's going through a slump. And he hasn't had a great season by any means. But with injuries, guys can go down. You got to still kind of hope that he finds it, because they brought him back to be a postseason weapon. We saw what he can do when he's on in the postseason. It's extremely frustrating. I totally understand it, but still. We got Navarro. What's up, Navarro, over there? We got Tony. Let's get. Now I'm going to give you guys the floor. Give me all your takes on Joe Kelly. Joe Kelly pitching for his position. That's from BC. Fire Dave Clueless Roberts. ASAP. That's from Team Ruiz. So that's a whole nother debate. Is, do you leave Clayton Kershaw out there in that situation to face Contreras? And the way it works, They have a lot of technology and data that really charts and reviews how well the stuff is playing out when it comes to spin, when it comes to velocity. And Contreras on the night, he did have a double off of Kersh earlier in this game. And in that situation, it's understandable if you trust Joe Kelly. Kersh, 5 2/3, 83 pitches. Another batter puts him at around 90, 92 potentially. Sure, could have had a quick, weak ground out, a quick, weak fly out, something like that. Could have punched him out. But hey, it's not totally indefensible. I mean, you can totally see why you went to that matchup in that situation. And look, I mean, that was a strike that Joe Kelly threw, and that gets you out of the inning. And yes, when you're that good at Joe Kelly hitting your spot, it's almost you're pitching too good in that situation, fortunately. But still, it's a tough call. It's a tough call, and Kersh definitely was a little gassed at that point. Didn't look like he had any issue giving that ball at the time. So let me know. What are your thoughts, though? I mean, like I said, Contreras on the night had a double off Kersh. You're setting up the platoon advantage. You got the righty-righty. You got the matchup that you wanted. Did it feel a little scripted? Sure. But the double in the second from Contreras off Kersh was 110.8 miles per hour off the bat. The ground out in the fourth inning against Kersh was 108.7 miles per hour off the bat and had a 520 expected batting average. So you want to know why they pulled Kersh? I just told you. They're looking at things like this, right? Sure, it's definitely on other levels, but they're considering things like that. So I don't have too big of a issue with that. I don't have too many the big qualm with that. Delirium, despite playing 500 baseball over the past 60-plus games, we have the best record in the National League. I can hardly believe it. Don't you love it? Don't you love it, man? Let's get a little you win right there. Absolute junk call balk. That's from Donald Segura. Yeah, the call was bad. That was bad, too. Thankfully, in that situation with the balk, he was able to calm down, and they didn't score a run. Because, yeah, if they had scored a run, it ended up being a big inning for them, and Kersh had his start derailed because of it. I'd be extremely upset about that for sure. Contreras, good high velo hitter. That's from Pika Peep. Chris Taylor probably won't make the postseason roster from Daniel Segura. Mr. Classic doesn't mean Kershaw can't get injured again. It's nothing new. Jason Diamond, that's why the Dodgers don't win in the postseason. They're going by the analytics too much. Jason Diamond, I definitely think that, this is a comment of the show. Jose Moreo says, I think the earthquake today was the message about Mookie Betts saying to the baseball gods, I'm back. That's a fire take.
Fire take.
That earthquake, man. All I got to say about the earthquake is that was a 4.7 or something. If that's a 4.7, man, if it's a 7, that's got to be a big-time jolt because I thought that was like a 10. Call me soft, but I thought that was a jolt, man, for sure. But here we go. Can't wait to see Edmund. That is from Cowboy 5's ring. Yeah, it's going to be excited to see him back in there. And I think Kevin Kiermaier, one of the big takeaways, we're talking a little more about it tomorrow, that Kevin Kiermaier, the defense is outstanding. And you're starting to see him string together games where he's, at the very least, giving you productive outs. Laid down a bunt today, giving you singles. Today he got a hit. So I think Kevin Kiermaier is making a strong case to be a part of this postseason roster. And let's be honest, it just feels like that's what they're going to do. You don't trade for a respected veteran at 34 that says he's going to retire after this season just to DFA him. Now, if he was performing terribly, sure, but he has provided some positives, and he's just 1 year removed from being an above-average bat. He had a 104 OPS plus last season. They got to find a way to get him as close to that as possible, and don't rely on him being a late-game substitution. Now, jumping to the top of the 7th inning, Ohtani draw a 2-out walk, gets another stolen base, so we're getting close. We're continuing to look at Shohei Ohtani. I want 50-50. I was talking to Matt Kemp yesterday. Matt Kemp fully supports him getting that 50-50. Matt Kemp wants to see it. We want to see it. Tonight, another stolen base. That's 33 stolen bases on the year, 36 home runs, leads the National League in home runs, leads the National League in slugging and OPS. So, yeah, he definitely had himself a great night. And then that brings up Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts with Shohei at second, falls behind the count 0-2, then fouls one off, takes a pitch outside, a cutter on the kind of just missed right there. It was close, but doesn't catch the corner. Fouls off a couple pitches on the 7th pitch to the bat, misses a sweeper, and then on the 8th pitch, great piece of hitting on the 2-2. He pokes a cutter and singles to right. That scored Ohtani to put the Dodgers up 5-2. So Mookie, Shohei combining all the runs tonight. They go up 5-2 in that spot. Then Betts steals second. So you have guys at the top of your lineup in Shohei and Mookie that can hit home runs, that can hit singles, that can also steal bases. They're extremely dynamic players. It's not like they're just sluggers. No, they have a lot of clubs in their bag. They can get big hits in big situations. Then when they get on base, they can make things happen too. And you saw that on display tonight. So the Dodgers get a run on a hit there in the 7th inning. And then bottom of the 7th inning, one thing you need to know about the bullpen tonight, or a couple things, but one thing that definitely stood out as far as being encouraging was Alex Vesia. Alex Vesia comes in tonight in the 7th inning, and he gets the job done like we've seen him do mostly this entire season. He struck out Frelick looking. Really nice job locating that four-seam fastball on the inner half. Then he struck out Ortiz on 4 pitches, elevated fastball up in the zone. And then he got Terang looking at a four-seam fastball, challenging him really right over the heart of the plate. So really nice to see him have a 1-2-3 inning with 3 strikeouts, and then most importantly, the velocity, which had been down a few ticks, was back to his yearly averages. Tonight, he averaged 93.4 miles per hour on his four-seam fastball, topped out at 94.4 miles per hour, and he said before the game that there were some mechanical issues that he was having where he was overcompensating with his lower body, and that was leading to him losing some velocity. So now those mechanics are back in sync. It happens for pitchers throughout the course of a 162-game season. So he's found it again. Very, very encouraging sight to see. And then you jump to the bottom of the 8th inning. Michael Kopech in the game. This guy is turning into one of the best relievers on the team. This guy is quickly earning Dave Roberts' trust. I asked Dave about Michael Kopech a couple days ago, and he said that he's really high on the trust tree right now and that he called him a beast. Dave Roberts called him a beast, said he has big stuff. Churio, he gets him to ground to shortstop. Then Bowers comes to hit for Mitchell. Kopech, he strikes him out with a 101-mile-per-hour fastball up in the zone. Did issue a 6-pitch walk to Contreras. Was missing high, and he was also missing on that slider down and away. But then he bounces right back. He strikes out Willy Adames, four-seam fastball up in the zone, and he just dominates hitters. So really what you're seeing with Michael Kopech is a pitcher that has elite stuff, that's not afraid to challenge hitters with heat, with fastballs, and that's exactly what the Dodgers need in the postseason. You need a reliever that puts fear into the opponent, puts fear into hitters, and that's exactly 100% what Michael Kopech does. So you saw that tonight. And since Michael Kopech was traded to the Dodgers, he's gone 6 1/3, has allowed just 1 hit, not 1 run, 10 strikeouts to 1 walk. So 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, no runs in 6 1/3 innings, averaging 98.7 miles per hour on the fastball. Michael Kopech has been one of the trades that the Dodgers have made that's a little under the radar that's going to go down as one of these steals at the deadline. Michael Kopech is a guy who get the final 3 outs in the World Series. I'm telling you right now. Then bottom of the 9th inning, Daniel Hudson comes in, goes 1-2-3. Great job by Huddy. He's been quietly excellent all season tonight. Daniel Hudson picked up the save, his 9th of the season. Great job by Huddy. Dodgers get the win 5-2. Great start from Kersh. Mookie's back. Ohtani's back. All is right in Dodgerland. 70 wins on the season. That's the best in the National League. But here we go. We got Kersh deserved to finish the inning. Another Roberts Tweedledum moment from Cowboy 5 Rings. Dogger Dog says, hey, D-Mac, I'm happy. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for Dodgers fans. It's a great night, too. Love the boys in blue. Spencer Loop, welcome to that chat, Julio. What's up, Julio? Carl, we don't have many opinions. Lots of opinions here, man. That's the one thing that we all have is a lot of opinions, for sure. Correct, our starting pitching options are very limited. Daniel Segura Hudson finally got outs instead of laboring through batters. This is what he should focus on, getting outs. Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, you're going to go through your stints, right? And you're absolutely right. I mean, he's giving up home runs lately, but still tonight, a crisp 1-2-3 from him, for sure. Mr. Seabad, Mookie's new hand guard should be on every Dodgers fan's Xmas list. That's a fire take. I loved it too. I saw the hand guard there. It got the Jordan brand. Great for Jordan brand's marketing, for sure. 2024 playoffs, Mookie 0 for 12. Freeman 0 for 12. Got swept in 3 games. Actually, Freddie actually did get an infield hit. So, and Mookie was actually 0 for 11 that series. But they'd both struggle. I'll give you that. How about that? We can agree on that one for sure. Kelly can't change. DFA him. That's from Daniel Segura. I agree. DMAC. What a Mr. Classic. Kelly is too hot and too cold. Jason Diamond. Kelly gave Hudson the save. Yeah, there you go. That's true for sure. I give up on Dave Roberts. That's from Booty Sniffer. Okay, I gotta give you a bruh. I'm stuck on you, BN. Actually, you know what? I'll respect your profile name for sure. Tommy Alvarado, the bullpen has to get it together because we ain't winning anything with that bullpen. You got reinforcements on the way, though. And thankfully, they dodged a bullet. Brusdar Graterol isn't done for this season. You're going to get Ryan Brazier back, who's been pitching well at the minor league level. Got Bobby Miller on the show this week. Who knows? Bobby Miller could factor into the bullpen mix with the kind of stuff that he has. You got a boost with Michael Kopech. Evan Phillips has pitched better. Tonight, Alex Vesia's velocity was back on track, and he's been fantastic all season long. They do, I agree with you, need to buckle guys down into certain roles and really find the guys that they are confident are going to carry this team. Blake Trinan on the IL. That's more of probably a rest situation, if we're being quite completely honest, but he's another high leverage guy. So they certainly do have the arm talent to get it done. It's just a matter of, will everyone remain healthy? Will guys that they're hoping come back, stay back, and be effective? Brusdar Brazier. Michael Grove is another wild card. And also, Joe Kelly is another wild card. So definitely some questions for sure, but it'd be worse if you didn't think there was no talent there, right? You got a lot of guys that can throw hard. Brusdar, Joe Kelly. You got Michael Kopech. You got Evan Phillips, who was a top 10 reliever last season. Blake Trinan's been a top 10 reliever in the past. So it'd be one thing if there wasn't any talent, because if there's no talent, right, if there's nothing to work with there, then you're really doomed. But the truth is, the upside potential's there, the quality of arms is there. It's just a matter of putting it all together and, quite frankly, being right at the right time. And that really is the trick when it comes to October. Can you get a hot reliever who's in sync at that moment? BC, how funny would it be if Rosario hits 300 in October for a team that wins the World Series? Wouldn't it be funny to me? I wouldn't find it funny at all, especially if it's a team the Dodgers are facing. So, no, unless you have a really dark sense of humor, BC, I wouldn't find that funny for sure, but I see what you mean. Nando, can't believe I'm saying Roberts should have left Kershaw in. Fire Dave Roberts.
Fire team.
Mr. Classic Kershaw gets an injury, and it's over. Mim 53, well, you know what? Let's be honest here. It wouldn't be over like in years past. You have your frontline horses in Flaherty, hopefully Yamamoto soon, and you also have the ace of the team, which is Tyler Glasnow. Baseball should not be played on a stat sheet. Go by the way the game is going, from Jason Diamond. I hear you. I respect that. Just trying to give you an idea of how these decisions are made, for sure. I mean, you got to go with your gut. I totally agree. I think in that situation, it's kind of a 50-50, kind of a coin flip. Me personally, with the way that Kershaw was dealing, the hard contact on Contreras was definitely concerning, but you don't want to continue to derail Joe Kelly's confidence. So I would have been fine to leave Clayton Kershaw out there, let him finish the 6. You know that he's going to buckle down, give it his best effort. At the worst, you might get allowed out to the fly out, or at the worst, you give a home run that's a 2-run shot. Think about that. In the worst case scenario is a 2-run home run on his ledger, And that's what ultimately happened to Joe Kelly in the first place. So, yeah, I mean, you do have to test Kersh for sure. But they do want to make sure that they're optimizing. They have a plan for him. And they're going to be cautious. They are going to be cautious. Not forget, he had shoulder surgeries, first major arm injury surgery of his career. They're going to be cautious. There's no doubt about that. We got Guion Boss says, Nerds ruin baseball, Mr. Classic. Dodgers have an injury problem, as you can see. It's pretty league-wide, but definitely the Dodgers have an injury problem. It feels that way. And River Ryan, he told me that, the pitch clock, pitchers don't like the pitch clock. And it's tough to ask these guys to go out there and throw as hard as they can every 15 seconds. It definitely is. Lorenzo Gaddis, Kersh wanted to come out. You can always tell when he doesn't. He knew who he was facing and how his stuff was feeling. I definitely say as far as overall demeanor, having watched pretty much feels like all of Kershaw's starts, to be honest. But his demeanor in that situation, it definitely felt like, look, man, I mean, the way that he was zeroed in tonight, the way he was dialed in, and just the effort it takes and just continue to ramp himself up, if we're being completely honest, he was a little rushed back, in my opinion. And in that situation, I think I agree with you on that one for sure. Analytics should ever favor people who can hit. Let's keep it going. We got Earthquake. So it was a 4.2 Earthquake. R.I.P. This is from Victor Cervantes. Says R.I.P. Koufax bobblehead. Yeah, Sandy Koufax's bobblehead. His arm fell off. For sure, D-Mac was unfazed by the Earthquake. What up, Antonio? It was Tony Taters in the chat. Oh, man, Tony Taters. Show him some love. You guys know he kills it. Producer of the year for sure. Pika Pete Kershaw learning to be unpredictable in his pitch sequencing. Like to see more of that from him. Pika Pete, fantastic point. Just to keep hitters off balance already. If you establish a 90-mile-per-hour fastball and your slider stays on plane as long as it does with Kersh and then falls off the table and it appears like a fastball the entire time, all of a sudden it's off the table, and then you pair that with a curveball that he's landing in the zone and he's throwing some different shapes at you, then you're getting some chase with a splitter and a changeup that you can play way out of the zone. And the splitter and changeup, that's been charted at around 83, 84. So then you got the differentiation, right? You got the 90 to 91, 92 mile per hour fastball, 87, 88 mile per hour slider, 83, 84 mile per hour changeup splitter. That's how they're charting it. And then you get the 71 mile per hour curveball. So the way you can get away with not being a fireballer and not throwing triple digits is fastball command and differentiation. And that's exactly what he's establishing. It's definitely fun to watch, fun to see the evolution. I mean, that's the great thing about Clayton Kershaw is he's absolutely reinvented himself. And what up, Diane Schroeder? Always rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Appreciate you guys. And we're going to be back tomorrow, Dodgers Dugout Live at 12, so be sure to join us. We have tons of stuff to get into. But a couple more comments here, guys. A 499 super chat from Lorenzo Gaddis. Is Catman expected back this year? He was throwing live BP on his IG. He is not expected to be back this year. The cat, man, won't be on the meowed this season. I'll just put it that way. Tired of all these Roberts Winders, best manager in the league. That's from David Herrera. Dave, you're going to have to duck, man. They're going to come for you with those kind of comments. Joey Romero, if the Dodgers let Kopech go after this season, I'll be upset. Definitely don't want to see Kopech go. No, he's back. He'll be back on this team. He's under team control for another season. A super chat, KRW for 3,000. Wow. Asamu YF19. Appreciate you. Give you a comment of the show for that one. Kopech stuff. This is from Alex Rancheria. Kopech stuff will play up in the postseason. I can't remember the last time the Dodgers had a fire thrower in the postseason. Well, besides Mariachi Joe's ebbs and flows. Yeah, and that's definitely something to be excited about as long as he continues to progress, for sure. Absolutely. $5 super chat from JWR fan. Kelly doesn't get squeezed, and you're talking about the pitch of the game on the black with movement and velocity that secured a scoreless outing for Kersh. Exactly. That's a fire take. I mean, that's from JWR fan. That's what we really were talking about is he gets that call, and you're saying, wow, that's probably the best executed pitch that we've seen from Joe Kelly in quite some time. They'd be like, wow, that would be one of the stories of this game, is that Vesia got his velocity back. Joe Kelly hitting the spots again, and I agree with you, and it's tough. I mean, if this is 2 years after tonight, right, or whenever we ultimately get the inevitable robo-umps, if this is that, well, you're saying there on the 2-2 count, the fifth pitch of the at-bat, that 99-mile-per-hour four-seam fastball on the black, that's a strike. The inning's over. Dodgers still up 4-0, and they're cruising to victory. Clayton Kershaw doesn't have anything on his ledger. So totally agree with you. Fantastic point. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Like I said, guys, we're hitting shows. Let's do all the super chats. So $5 from Sneaky Panda. How do you feel about Dusty in the booth at Dodger Stadium? I thought it was great. I think Dusty Baker is fantastic. I mean, I love his stories. He was really open about just, hey, he didn't feel like he deserved it and be a legend. He's very humble when you consider all the success he's had all throughout his career. No doubt about it, for sure. Alex Renteria, D-Mac can't count some of these guys coming back late and being ready for the season, let alone the postseason. Barry Hutcheeks signed D-Mac as the Dodgers manager and DFA. Dave, we got Julio needs a Dave Roberts hug. Yeah, a couple more here, guys. Danny Cortez says, go Ohtani. Diane Sure. Hi, D-Mac, twice in one day. Yeah, we'll be going twice in a day for, we're going to try to have as many post-game shows and Dodgers dugouts as we possibly can because, hey, guys, postseason's coming. I mean, we're 7 weeks and we're getting close. I mean, before you know, we're talking postseason roster, and it's scary season. We know it's coming close. Swelling Sausage 199. What's your take on dumping Rosario? Weird trade. Talked about it earlier in the show. It's pretty much just because he wasn't getting opportunities. Max Muncy's healthy. He's coming back. He's going to play third. So he was a backup option at third. He was an insurance policy in the event that Max Muncy wasn't going to come back. Well, he's going to be back. So they're banking on that. Shortstop position, Miguel Rojas is playing defense at a Gold Glove level. He's hitting right now. Then behind him, at the moment, you have Nick Ahmed. Tommy Edmonds returning. He can play some short as well. He's a Gold Glove award-winning second baseman. He'll be in center, but you also have Kiermaier in center, too, so you got that covered. Second base, Lux is hitting. He's not giving up that spot. Been one of the best hitters since the All-Star break. And then Kike Hernandez, who's been a above-average bat, a 120 weighted run created plus player, so 20% above league average offensively since putting on the glasses. You got no spot for him to start every day. He's going to go into more of a platoon depth piece, and then he can play that role at second base that they originally had for Rosario. So makes all the sense in the world when you look at it, but still, on the surface, it's a head scratcher, but I think you just have to remind yourself that the Dodgers are committed to the guys they have. Now, he's a 300 hitter for sure. There's no doubt about that. But right now, I mean, you can make the case that the Kike that we've seen since you put on the glasses is a more productive overall hitter as far as including the slug element to it too than what Rosario has been. So it's unfortunate. Just the opportunity wasn't there. I mean, I still think, he had no lefties this week that they're going to face, so he wasn't going to be in there this week, and you got Muncy and Edmund coming. So fortunately, only 26 people on the roster. D-Mac, you live in L.A.? Of course, live in L.A. Roy Estrada, thanks, D-Mac. Thanks, guys. DFA party from B.C. How do you spell Ohtani? That counts, but it's a Goatani. That works. But don't worry, every time you do it, it gets registered, and we'll be giving away very soon here. We're getting very close to 95,000 subscribers. 95,000 subscribers. At the moment, we're at 94,477. So let's keep picking up the subs so we can give this away. We'll do another giveaway this week at some point, probably during one of the live shows. So be on the lookout for that, guys. But my name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. Subscribe, hit that like button. Want all your comments down below. And remember, nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue,